All right, folks, this is Delenay's place. We're over in Founders, and here is the blurb. Two groups of friends came together to buy a cozy house nestled in a tiny cove. Here they blend the cultures of the Calderai, Stormwind, and Kultiris. This home has allowed the 7 of them to have a place to take a break from their adventures and enjoy their hobbies and friendship. All right. So as soon as we go in here, we have this road, one road that leads off the main spot, leads down here. And as we go in, we have this, actually it's kind of this multiple kind of thing. So we have like fence work along here with rocks. And then we have another bit of a, some fence work here as well. This kind of leads us over to the dock area. But then as we go deeper, that's when we enter the actual front lot. Wow, it makes the spot feel really, really big. I'm guessing that the house itself is tucked really tightly into the corner because it makes it feel extremely spacious. That's cool. That's really neat. We have our fence work, we have our Gilnean walls, we have breaks in between that with some greens. Nice and easy. And so as we go a little bit deeper, gazebo with restful spots, trees that are flanking the house. We have this big old overhang area, which gives us the whole Kulturan vibe here, but also, sort of a fusion kind of thing here because we have the elven style, but, Kulturan colors. It's cool. Lots of greens once again that are dressed in the outside area. Yeah, it feels like it made full use of the available budget. Nothing, they're not doing anything too crazy with the house itself, but they did a lot to dress the yard. And I think it paid off really well. Lots of cool stuff. It easily takes up a lot of extra budget if you wanted to have let me have a table with all this stuff in here and all of us hanging out and doing cool things, but that really starts to eat at the budget after just a little bit. After the previous build that we were at, this feels kind of refreshing because we're going into a house. Kind of crazy, huh? And already though, we're seeing some very interesting shaping here. This happens to be a part of the storage tent, but you have this big structure, this big overhang being used to address the entrance. You can see the beams here flanking the sides. That's really neat. Up front, we are introduced to some options. Left or right, we're going to go the usual way. I'm not being told to go to move otherwise. Some overhead greens. Now, very interesting. We have a lot of greens that are lining up the entire ceiling, at least over here in these in this hallway. So it's kind of interesting because otherwise you have lots of walls. So it looks as if the place is really carved out. It's just hard to tell because you have because the ceilings are pretty covered. So 7 people live in this Warband style house. Note how low the roof is there. 7 people live here. And perhaps this might be one because it has a certain color to it. Yeah. So while not so much a bedroom, this is a work style. Actually, no, maybe not. There's a shroud over there. But at least out here, we're working, we're doing stuff, we're hiding the intimate bits, which are right behind here, which reveals, oh, it's a photography room of sorts. That's neat. That's neat. Haven't seen anyone do this before. That's cool. I think one of the notes point that out here too. Yeah, there's a photography processing room. And here we are. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I dig that. And so back here, you have some more of the, different work being done. Cool. So that's the dark room. And then in here, I believe this to be, let me double check. Second bathroom? Yeah, second bathroom. 7 people, so kind of figured you want to have something like that. And so this takes, That takes us to the middle area, but since we're here, let's see what's going on at the other end of this spot. So here we've got the Octagon. We're training. We got all the weapons and collections of every era. And different classes too. Yeah, I'm seeing the celebrations here. Strong warrior vibes, Kaldrai vibes since that's a Kaldrai house, hunter stuffs, rogue things, alliance whatever. Definitely monk stuff. Yeah, remember 7 people. It's not like everyone lives here. So we came from here, and we'll start exploring. Great use of using this mat as the Octagon. Still has like it's leather. It's still hard though, so you're still going to get hurt. You want to be careful, but otherwise you're at least not going to slam yourself against freaking rock. Now this spot here, things darken up. Oh, it's just a very small bedroom, or a rest. Kind of a place to rest. After a long thing of practice, maybe you're bruised up and battered, so you just kind of like sneak your way in there so you can like lay down, because it's like, oh, nope, too much work to like make my way all the way back to like my bedroom or whatnot. So that works out. Ooh. Now, I didn't expect that. All right, let's see where this takes us. Please don't be pipes. All right. Nice and pleasant. So we're still sticking. So we portaled through, but we still have this sort of Kaldrai vibe. Notice how this place has been sort of converted into a waterway. Check it out, because we're surrounded by like some cave work over here, some water off to the side. Water's kind of like leaking through. It's from the trellis, but water's like kind of leaking through, and this leads us to the outside. All right. So this whole spot closed off. Notice what's doing it. Dragon tables all around the spot. So it's a very high fenced backyard of sorts. We're also kind of teleported in. So we could almost say that this is, between the Horde and Alliance banners here, for Evoker banners, you can say that this is kind of like, I'm going to say it's like a neutral spot. Something that's very Drakthir focused. You can see the Drakthir decor being used on that side. So it's a very unified spot for the people in this warband. And inscription stuff. You got place to eat, nosh on foods, pantry area, and everything. So it's kind of its own. You can say that this is a living space. We have places for some of the Drakthir folk to like rest, relax, work on stuff, do their thing, do illicit things. Illicit table, illicit things. That's how it goes. Yeah, great stuff out here. And then we'll tent our way into. Oh wait, what is? Okay, very interesting. So. This is just a bug. This isn't really anything. But like the illusion here that's being set up with this bug is, oh, the mountains back there, they're on fire. Oh, that's great. I mean, that's not the case. It is simply this weird trick of the fire not being in front of the texture here. So I find that very interesting. So there it is. That's working. Now it's not. Boop, boop. Yeah, it did look like basically the world's on fire. Yeah, don't panic though. We're champions of Azeroth. That's just another Tuesday. That's all. So we're going to retreat back through this kind of like waterway area. We'll return to the practice spot. We'll hang a left. We'll return to where we were. And then we'll just go through here. Hopefully I'll wind my way back around to the entrance. So here, very relaxing spots. Very, very spacious too. Like note how this feels like a large room that's been kind of carved out. multiple rooms have been made in its place. It's a lot to take in here. So that's actually probably another room. But so let's soak in everything, because there's quite a bit to look at through here. We have this center spot where we're eating. Coffee's right there in the back. Awesome. Cool pantry area that they have set up here too. And again, this all appears to be carved out. You know, big old pantry. Everything's filled out. Lots of food being set up. Excellent. Really bright with the setup here too. Yeah, they're not being shy about adding like a bunch of extra lighting, throwing together like some little wall decors so they can hang up some extra stuff. Yeah, great work with the individual pieces. And then there is a door there. I'm kind of curious what's over there. Engineering room. Let's go. So in this spot, it is a bedroom. So this is where one of the Warband folks live. But they are in fact an engineer and a hunter, probably. Maybe this is where like their hunter pet sleeps with their little plushie and all that. And they're working on cool stuff. Not making money, but they're working on some very cool stuff. Nice. Okay, different kind of nice is having a whole spotlight on the bed. It's like, yo, we're asleep, we're doing our thing. We wake up to like wang, as if maybe it's not like a light, maybe it's a camera of sorts where it's like a scanning equipment. There we go. Why would you self-scan? I don't know. Maybe they're paranoid. That could be it too. Otherwise, when everyone's in good mental health, everyone's just kind of chilling, vibing, relaxing. I mean, that's what it's for too, right? That'll help folks recover from the stresses of dealing with the daily things that are happening in Azeroth. So here, this seems pretty clear. We have some cool Tyrian vibes up in this room. We got some gloves. So can we tell what class they happen to be here? Maybe, Paladin. Okay. Paladin apparently has gloves, which is something I know I long for. And then here we have the Kulturan flag shroud kind of thing. So very clear, very easy ways to identify kind of like the who lives here sort of thing. I noticed that there wasn't a whole lot of there was some, but not like a ton of personalization. I think we're seeing that mostly out here in the shared areas. So I'm going to go through, I want to see where this room takes us, but I might end up backtracking. Oh, love the void tables here. Nice. Love the effects that come out here. And what's cool is that they use the trellis and this filled trellis as a way to obscure some of the clipping here. So you have this constant effect going without it being too distracting when you kind of see past the illusion. All right, yeah, so we're going to go there a little bit later. I want to backtrack first because there's some places that I know I walked by. I want to make sure that we look at most everything before we go back in that direction. Oh, neat. Lots of leafy wall, a leafy ceiling, basically. That's cool because it feels very bright by comparison. That's neat. That's very neat. All right, so we're going into a library setup. Very extensive library. I like how this is shaped together. It's tight, but you have some workstations on either end for folks to stand up and do their thing. But we also perhaps have something here. A hidden bedroom. No signage, because it's supposed to be hidden, I suppose. And who is living here? Perhaps they're into magic stuff. I mean, in this case, it does feel like a night elf who lives in this room. Has some strong Kaldrai vibes. And this place does happen to have a bit more of a personal touch to it. They're eating stuff. They're working on things. They have things hanging out. Some belongings are down there. Yeah, this room feels good. And of course, being studious, they're right next to the library where all the books are. And then we go here to an Arakoa room. Maybe, maybe not. That would be neat though. And I think that's what they're trying to sort of depict here. I mean, hey, they want to support that. Cool. This is our chance to like campaign for more allied races, including the Arakoa. But yeah, just like the previous room, this has that whole kind of like working on, it has that whole vibe of people actually living here, doing stuff, little bits of personalization here and there. Flaming book, not sure how to explain that one, but still. Yeah, great work on these rooms. It's filled with life. So let's go back through here. And now we're at the main hallway. Okay, great. Awesome. Exactly what I was hoping for. So now I have like my orientation. I can go through that one room that we had passed by. Oh, neat fountain work that's being done here too. You have like this whole, this whole like kind of natural-ish chandelier setup. It's not because it's water going in reverse. But, it's magic too. It's all good. All right, so now as we go through here, we go through many, many leaves, a very leafy floor in this hallway. And then we're slowly let out to the outside. Okay, so it's meant to be a celestial hallway, the way that they described it, as we come out here. So now it's nighttime by the time we get to this point. And what do we have here? Very filled out spot. So unlike the dragon tables, so that was like a draft theater area that we were at. Here, what do we have? We have kind of a mix of things. We have some Kaldorite arches and structures. A little bit of a dwarven vibe there with the hot tub, but that might just be like something that was imported from Dorne. And it's largely going to be like night elves or what have you that are out here. But I think it's more or less like a shared area. We got delicious pies. Oh, so good. Lots of treats. Some work in case they wanted to like water stuff. And then in here, feels like sort of not a lecture hall, but kind of a planning spot. Here's their corkboard with like the to-do list, the chores. This is where we assign all the tasks for the Warband to do throughout this week. We're gonna rotate as we usually do. Janet, you're on the bathrooms, and she's like, dude, I was on the bathrooms last week. I traded with Jesse. And then Jesse's like, no, that's, and so they're going to get it. They're going to go at it. They dare to risk disrupting the unity of their warband over toilet work. But then again, it's toilet work. Who wants to do that? Shucks. Really beautiful outside area, though. I like how they just have like these big wall areas. No explanation behind it. It's just like, big wall. And then they used the duskwood greens up here to help dress the top. To help kind of like soften that clip, the clip. I think that works out really well. And then you can kind of see that kind of like arch down or arch up and then down. You have the trees that are here, followed by rocks, followed by more greens for a bit of variety. And then greens continue, greens and other structures continue to fence the area off. Yeah, so it turns out to be a pretty festive outdoor spot. Yeah, I love the vibes. It's great. All right, so we retreat back. And have I seen everything? I feel like I haven't seen 7 beds yet, but maybe I have and I didn't quite. So the 1, 2, 3 was that one. And then let's backtrack, because I think this was 4 for the engineer, right? We come back here. That was the practice spots. These were the 2 bathrooms. I think this was 5. No, this is the dog room. So I think I found 4 so far. Did I miss some? I think I might have missed some. So where are they? Unless it's 2 people to a room. Hey, you know, maybe a little bit of romance happening here. Yeah, because I don't think I found all the rooms. Uh-oh. I'm going to say that some of them have coupled up. Yeah. True, there could be couples. Yeah, because that's, I mean, I've gone through the rooms. Oh, wait. This is another one. Boom. Yeah, okay, yeah, this is the very small room. There's a hidden place. Oh, a hidden place. Okay, so I know that there was, okay, this wasn't really hidden. This spot, I don't think was a bedroom, right? Oh, no, I think it is. Yeah, because there were beds here. So I think we did cover everyone. So there's 1 bed. And, oh, just 1. I did not see anything about another hidden room. So, bummer. But we'll keep looking for a little bit. I'm going to count again. So this was 1. Drag your stuff. There's a space back in the void hall. Okay, that's 2. And then, not that one. 3 for the engineer. 4 for the Kultiran. 5 for the night elf. 6 for the Arakoa. Turn left. Oh, that's never going to work. By the way, that'll never work. Stream lag will prevent that from happening. So let's see. Yeah, there's this hallway here, and this hallway didn't go anywhere. And then that's a wall. So I guess, did this have a bed? It did have a bed. Okay. So I think I did count 7, actually. Just through the moon door back by the entrance lamp. So you're talking about here? Stop. Okay. Remember, Streamlog is not going to make this work out so great. So I'm here. Just the other side of the store. So this is this what counts as the 7th room, right? Because I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So I guess we did fire him. Yay! Oh, we gotta walk through stuff too? Oh, okay. So walk through the vegetation, not that. That's not enough. That's also not enough. That's also not enough. I mean, there might have been something there, but yeah, I don't see it. By the door. Okay. By the door. Okay, that's a rock. This is a fence post. Oh god. Oh, that was so small. That was so small, dude. Okay, there we go. All right. Oh, there's more house. Oh boy. All right. So now we got some different vibes. We got more. Ooh, what a treat. All right. So strong Herondar vibes over in this spot. Oh, that's neat because we got like double elevations here. Check it out. So we're climbing up all these rocks. Rocks. All right. And we do have a bed. Nice. But then there's more. There's more to explore. Love the Herondar glows, by the way. Like, even though it doesn't count as actual lighting, the fact that you have like these special kinds of glows, it introduces like a different sort of brightness that other lighting doesn't quite do the same way. So very neat. Well, let's do this climb, yeah? Check out how filled out this ceiling is. Tons and tons of greens. You know, and they made sure to make, they wanted to make sure that that they match pretty decently. So it's all nighttime greens, indoor greens that you have here that are all spilling out. Very nice. Yeah, it's a great, great ceiling. When we continue these kinds of natural Herondar vibes, we have a little bit of a troll thing happening over there. Let's pan around. And we have like a little treasure spot. Yay. So this feels like more or less like a treasure room of sorts. Things to throw down. And that does it. Okay. Yeah, I feel bad because like, yeah, that place I would have missed. That was way too easy to to skip over. Feel kind of bad. So let me backtrack again because it's like, boop. Yeah, that's tough. That's a good one, but boy, is that a tough one. Yeah, great spot though. Great spot. You know, again, it's refreshing to get this kind of like homely look going through this build, and it was great. So thank you very much.